All that garlic bread was free, I think.
Yoink. Right, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
Oh,
no!
they broke on the side. Ark.
I love
plate. Oh no, are we streaming?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's literally the first thing they saw.
Oh good. Hi everyone.
Is it on the plate?
Why is it?
That's fine. Oh no. Big one. Sorry, go on.
Is it-
You hate us, don't you?
What's going on? Oh, you've only got big plates. Sorry, there's no little plates left.
Oh, that's right. I have a big one. Just the wheel plate.
Oh. Is this working? Does someone mind checking it out on their phone to see if it's working? Because it's only got what's that internet thing saying?
Yeah.
You're upset that there's not many viewers.
No, because I need to picture connected. No, you always say zero. There's actually tens of thousands of people watching this. Don't show up on this thing.
Just wait.
It's just waiting in the wings. Should we just assume it's working or something? Can someone check it out on their phone?
Yeah. Should have come up as a notification.
Cool. Does it? I
Maybe
can't
on my
turn the bell on.
Well, it hasn't this time, so maybe I haven't got the bell on. I thought it has before though.
It's some problem.
Yeah.
Do you want to
So phone.
I'll cut this bit out. Will I? Yeah, I
6-2.
should cut this bit out. If it does work, you see if it's like moving. Or I mean, the quality's not amazing.
That could just be my phone.
You're not on my Wi-Fi,
I am.
so it can't be your phone then.
Oh, okay.
Should we just go for it and see what happens?
Yeah.
Or is it really bad?
I think
Oh, no one's watching anyway. Okay, you ready? Great. Yo, it's your boy, Seafoam Solj, back at it again. Time to go through episode 3 of season 14 with some special little people. Today we've got
Chris.
and we've got
Chris.
yeah. Also this one.
Your Will strawberry tart. Dan.
Why you strawberry tart?
Because I'm eating a strawberry tart.
Oh.
And I am Floppy Bob.
And
Jambalaya the third in my
Chris.
yeah. Hey Kurt, you're alright.
Hey, Kurt.
It's the quality terrible. It's got like a weird internet thing for us. But I don't know why that's come up. So can you let us know if it is? I'll try and do a thing, but no promises. So this episode primarily consisted of was it 42 looks overall?
So,
We were eating at the time, so I made 0 notes, and it was just a lot anyway, too much. I don't think we're going to talk about that too much. I'm going to talk about the other aspects of it.
the whole episode, but the looks are not that relevant.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the first things I wanted to say. Is I feel like having a ball this early on in the season is not the one. It's too much. It's too much.
Because they did it in either the last season or the one before, where it was 39 looks, and that really pushed it. And I was like, mate, and we're going for a new record now. We were kind of saying, is this like the Emmy episode? It's like,
And they were like, oh, I know, we'll bring some people back for this episode, just in case there's not enough. Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's just the balls used to be one of my favorite episodes, my favorite challenges, because it had there's a lot more emphasis put into every look, right? But
it's like a top 4, top 5 type task.
Yeah, exactly.
You then love the queens. You've got the best ones.
There's tension there.
Yeah.
This is I don't know who was who.
Yeah, 6 American flag looks, 6 white looks, about how what would it be 18 looks that were just zebra print?
Yeah.
No, more than 21.
It was a leopard print and a zebra print, so it's 12.
Oh, those are
14.
14. No, they all look the same.
Yeah, I think one was zebra and one was tiger.
So, and also, I don't know, if it was just this season or it's because there's so many looks, but they all felt extra generic to me. Like exactly as you guys are saying, it was difficult to. I know very, very few looks are standing out for me. A lot of them seem very samey for the different categories.
Yeah.
I think they were smart having 2 different balls because of imagine if we had how many looks would it have been? 14 looks per category.
Jesus.
14 zebra prints.
Even with 17 zebra prints, they all blend into one for me. Imagine if it's 14. So they were smart splitting into 2 different
5 zebra prints.
themes.
I'd have been whatever.
Yeah.
Not enough zebra prints.
But even then, it's just too much. So yeah, it's just and because of that, unfortunately, there was little other content to the episode. So I had to get through all those looks.
Yeah.
There was gave us less of everything else.
It was a choice. I'm do a fucking comedy challenge, or I was going to say do a talent show, but they already did that, and then they brought the 2 losers back.
Yeah, which made okay. That's the first night we should talk about, right? So how do we feel about bringing those 2 people back?
In some ways, I'm not massively surprised because part with a split premiere, getting rid of people, I get how they can be it's a bit unfair, but you do that when you've lost someone potentially great. You don't kind of go like, oh my god, I can't believe we lost Orion's story. Even though I have to admit, I liked quite a lot of her looks this episode. I really liked her looks in the first episode as well.
Also, just realised that Dire Betty is called Dire Betty.
Yeah. Like Dyer's in
Dire.
Yeah.
How did you think that through?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
She's the shit Betty.
Dire. That's a Dire Betty.
Oh, so
Her name is Dire Betty.
I think
But then the fantasy books, like dire wolves are like the good ones.
in what, sorry?
Like the fantasy books and stuff, dire wolves are the good ones, right?
Oh, well, is that just because they're extra bad?
That's not. Oh, is that why? Okay. Ooh.
Quirky.
So how do we feel about them coming back?
Didn't really add anything.
No.
Actually, you know what?
Dead mum story.
Oh damn! Sorry, I'll check out the internet in a second. Yeah, I think I'm annoyed they came back because it completely voided the first two episodes. Really,
Yeah.
Like, and it also is going to add 2 more episodes onto the season. It's going to stretch out the season even further.
Yeah.
It's
like all the things that everyone said they didn't like about last season. Rue was like, "Oh, you want all that again?" Yes.
it was shown promised before this.
But what I was going to say is, I agree. What I was going to say is, I did actually really like Di's looks this episode, and Orion's looks were good as well. So I actually, in terms of like, for this look, they were some of the compared to the other contestants.
Well, Orion
I felt they deserved to be here more than else. Yeah, but even then, I didn't compared to somebody else. Like, she wasn't on the same level as June.
No,
she was significantly better than June.
Oh yeah, it's just that she still wasn't great.
I actually quite like. For me, like I want to talk about in terms of challenges. Like, just if someone's doing something different, I'm interested in it. And like, at least her looks were different. We don't really seen those sort of like that style of makeup and that sort of like grungy. Like, we haven't really seen that at least that often on the show. So at least it was more interesting than most of them. Most of them were very boring and generic. Her stood out as being different and interesting at least.
Yeah. I'm glad that the 2 queens who came back at least like didn't go home again. Like straight away. I do because I did kind of want to see a little bit more from, well, particularly Orion. I mean, like she's not like the most exciting thing. Like that talent show thing was a bit, really was a rough spot. But I think it was, it's fun to see. Like Grant was saying, like fun to see someone a little bit different. I don't know. I think with this and the twist, because we already know there's one person who's going to lose a lip sync and not go home. So, like, how many episodes is this?
This is their 3rd episode.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of the whole season, like, how is it just going to be?
Oh, as in, like, how many? I mean, there's 14 contestants.
Yeah, and we've
had 3 episodes and one's gone home. So that's 13 left. So that's at least another 9 episodes probably before the finale.
Yeah. With the knowledge that somebody's going to survive because of the golden ticket or whatever it's inside.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's going to maybe be a long one, and especially season 13 was like a good season that was really hampered by how long it was.
It was a good season halfway through.
Yes,
it got its stride once Elliot with 2 teams there.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily because of Elliot, it's just that felt like a natural point, was that?
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying this now.
Right, you kind of separate out some of the kind of more of the queens,
Mostly because of that queen that I hated that I've forgotten the name of. Ruined the whole season for me.
Candy
Muse.
Oh yeah. Okay, is this any better in terms of video quality?
It does help.
I don't think it is. Okay, you need to watch this season for sure if you can. It's definitely a good one. Anyway, so should we go through my notes in order? There's not a ton anyway, to be fair. So first one is like Alicia Keys being evil at the beginning.
It's just like, oh, I'm not going, and oh no, I'm back, and no, so are these ones, and then that was it. And she popped off.
Yeah,
that was.
I don't understand why it happened. Yeah. Okay, and actually this kind of relates to what we're talking about as well. My next note is like when they all met. And I feel like it's kind of been the same generally. And like, I'm enjoying the season. It's feeling fresh. But like, everyone's just recycling old catchphrases.
Yeah.
Like when I met, one of them said like, it's going to get severe up in here. It's like just shit like that. Like everyone's just saying stuff. Yeah. Like it's just like, oh, you girls look sick.
Okay, work hunty.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's the drag for me.
No one's going to say Snatch the Crown ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're up to season 14. There's going to be some like things coming back.
No, but it's just like
cast interesting people. Then.
Exactly.
Drag queens.
That's why I like people like Maddie and Ryan, because at least they're different. At least they're bringing something different. Whereas George is just like, yeah, you look good, but like,
I know.
What else?
They're gonna come in their pants about George every week, and it's sort of like, why?
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a bit pretty. She's not as good as Valentina.
In
Basically.
fact,
Yeah,
Brie does have a bit of a history for like letting kind of pretty boys who do very glam drag, but like are a bit basic. Yeah, like last for a really long time.
Yeah.
True though.
Like Rebecca Glasscock, even in the first season, was like, she basically just like turned up every episode looking like she'd just been to the mall. Like it was,
season 1.
Yeah.
We're gonna show Drag Race at work starting from season 1.
Oh, why?
I know.
At work.
Just to have as like a regular thing that's played in the office.
That does feel kind of weird.
For like,
What? Just like
productivity is going to
we've got a big screen in the
just gonna have it playing like in the background.
Yeah, like screen it once a week.
Like an actual school just in the background during work hours, just like it'll sending emails and there's like
in the background. Yeah, we're just.
It's sort of cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm going to have to pause you there. There's about to be a lip sync.
Exactly. Just like a really important call. Like, oh, girl, you've got shoes out.
Our front area is quite far from the office.
Oh, okay.
Is that euphemism?
No.
Wait, so you're not the front area where you walk in?
Not at all.
Okay. So,
I did enjoy we shouldn't talk about the moment with the Ryan story. It was like, do you know how beautiful you are? He's like, yes.
That's so
That was
funny.
great.
I have to say, like, at least it got something to them. Like, they're not the most polished, I agree, but like, there's something there. It was interesting.
A mum's suicide story, which is new.
Yes,
we talk about one something fresh. We've not had that before.
No, true.
This is a little bit why I felt like an Emmy episode to me. It was like it had like three or four heartbreaking stories, like a death, like transitioning, chronic illness. There was something else, I'm sure. There's like, oh gosh, this is quite a weighty episode. Then followed by 42 fucking looks,
and as then Rue on coke.
Rue on coke. A description of a twist for the entire season. Like this was just like, and like two returning queens, the interaction between old and new queens. Like this is
a random returning Alicia Keys.
Like this episode was just like cram packed.
But this is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Like it's a shame that because there's 42 looks, they could spend so much more time on all these other aspects you just talked about. But all of that was really rushed, so we had time for all the looks.
Yeah,
it's kind
of
like we didn't get a mini challenge.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get all the fun stuff.
We pretty much started eating when the looks were starting, and we were still like,
we
pretty much finished food.
Because I got up to do something, I was like, "Is this still on?"
Yeah. After you finished eating,
yeah.
They're big meals as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry, lads.
So on that note, I think this was to talk about is a golden chocolate bar twist. How do you feel about that?
I really like it.
It's good.
I think it's a cool idea. It adds some randomness to it, but like, I guess we'll see how. Because this thing, it's a real risk, right? Because like, if June Jambalaya had it first week, the risk, the
show would be cancelled.
Yeah, like the whole twist is gone.
Yeah.
And then,
but do we really believe it's true?
Is that going to say unless it's rigged?
Yeah. And what happens if a queen gets right to the end and never uses their chocolate? I mean, in some ways that adds intrigue, right? Because each time you're like, ooh, but they don't have it, which means, so I think it'll get more interesting as it goes along if it's not revealed. It's almost like a rollover effect, right? Because if it turns out Kerry Colby has it, for example, and she doesn't lip sync, then like there's going to be a real thing of each week, like, so hang on, it must be one of us three, like.
Yeah.
This could be good, yeah.
That might be interesting.
In principle, I like the
be able
idea.
to suss out who has it.
Yeah.
Although weirdly, like it could potentially fuck up the episode order, right? Because if no one gets it, then it's going to be one less episode. If it's one of the top three that has it, it's never revealed. It'll be one less.
Yeah,
episode.
that's true, actually.
So I don't know how
maybe they just win some money or something.
Wouldn't it be nice to just believe that they completely randomised?
Exactly, I was going to say
just
it's
deal with
impossible.
it, whatever happens.
Because surely it can't be fully randomised. Otherwise, it could just be a really dull. Like a Ryan story could happen next week. And
I wouldn't be mad at that.
And I wouldn't necessarily, but I mean, as long as it's done well as a TV show thing of like, then there's a bit of intrigue of like, ooh, so that's gone. So now it's really like, now everyone's definitely going home. Like, there's no holds barred.
So the other thing I was going to say is like, we always talk about it on all the previous seasons. Like the queen that Rue tends to double Shantae is like always seemingly random.
Yeah.
Like we never agree with their choices, Rue's choice of a queen to keep for double Shantae. So I'm actually much prefer
from
this.
Brooklyn and
Evie.
Oh yeah, I
That was
agree. Yeah.
amazing.
But how many seasons ago was that? Was season
11?
Once in a lifetime.
3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like I say that.
And it was amazing.
It's
and
been
it was
about 10.
definitely
It's been about 10 seasons since then though, where it's been double Shantaes and like it always been like no good.
Scarlet Harlot and the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that was so amazing. Like it really was.
Yeah, this is what I mean. So like actually, because of that, I'm way happier with the chocolate bar twist because it feels like we won't have that like annoying moment this time. It'd be like, okay, like
We'll be like, oh, that person's got the cloak.
yeah,
Fine.
exactly, yeah.
I guess the only thing when it would be rubbish is if it's a queen who has like been constantly like towards the bottom. They finally lose a lip sync. They come back and then they go the next episode. Like, that's when it's gonna, you know, like
it'll be fun if it's like someone that you're like, no, not them, and then
like cornbread.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if they had like a bad week, then
Yeah.
that would be kind of interesting.
Okay, so my next note is about in regards to June not knowing how to do anything in terms of constructing a garment. How do you feel about that?
You didn't need to add constructing a garment.
yeah, exactly.
I kind of do feel bad for it because I think.
Do you? What?
Well, no, not bad. I mean, it's her own choice. I mean, I just mean like when you put all the queens next to each other.
Just about to say.
They're like a lot of the other queens are so much more polished, and they also seem a little bit more ready in some ways, where she just sort of looks a little bit like, oh, what am I doing here?
Because she shouldn't be here yet.
I do think she needs a bit more time to cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that was a pun completely unintended, but
She needs a bit more time in the pot.
Hey.
She's not
Is she a
quite
chef?
done yet.
No, she's not a chef. She's jambalaya. That's why she'd be in the pot. A chef wouldn't be in the pot.
because June's the month.
That's
we
ridiculous,
forget-
Grant.
Dad, let chefs get in pots if they want.
Might set that up for a bit of half baked.
Hey!
Why? You don't bake a jambalaya.
You've got a bit of gratin or something.
Oh my
A bit
god.
of jambalaya gratin.
She's not called jambalaya gratin. She's called June
She
jambalaya.
should have thought that.
Jambalaya gratin.
Bragatan.
I always
Grant hates us.
We've all had our coffee enemas.
Sorry, we've had whatever Rue was having on the episode.
what was I going to say? You're totally throwing me off. Okay, I feel like in terms of her being on the show, I feel like it's like multiple people's fault. It's her fault. She's not auditioning. She doesn't have a skill set yet. She's not, and she's not polished enough generally. It's the production's fault for letting her on so early as well.
Yeah.
It's Rui's fault for letting her on.
Like, how did
it's just
Cornbread? Cornbread was like, oh, I've not been trying to get on this for years. And it's clearly really good.
yeah, exactly.
How did he get on at the same time as June?
Exactly. But let's say they normally save queens for like storyline reasons, but why would they like what's June's storyline been like? I found her very like as you said, Dan. Like you don't really get like a warm, like charming energy from her or anything.
There's a slight bitterness, isn't there?
Yes, yeah.
She wore leggings for her entry look. Leggings. Yeah.
Also, like I think it's what annoys me about her. Sorry, June. Is like she's a one person watching this. Is like
So
not
awkward.
often the time.
she's exactly is like she's naturally very very pretty, but I think her makeup makes it worse. Like it's just so much like contrast and like white and like highlighting and stuff. It's just not good makeup. Like there are points where aspects of makeup have been good, but she can be so pretty so easily, but she's not. And that's the tea.
That's just how it is, babe.
Just how it
Yeah,
is.
that's how it is.
Then just don't let her on that.
Is there
TV
anything
show.
that we did like about June Jambalaya?
See, I do actually think she could have some really like fun potential.
That's not
for,
what
like,
we're
a later
saying,
season. Not right now.
So what do you like? That's not honestly. That's a really like diplomatic way to completely not answer Chris's
Well,
question.
I mean,
She's very tall.
I like her name.
I actually don't like her.
No, I don't like it.
I don't know, because I thought she was going to come into the season with a little bit of a kind of underdog kind of energy and a bit of like got something to prove and then would actually prove us wrong.
But she was very confident. Like she didn't give off like that whole like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. She felt like she really was.
Yeah.
Like that weird comment that she made to Orion, which was like, I'm not happy you're back. Yeah,
because
like
it's weird because there is a way of saying it, isn't there? Like
it was horrible. The way she said it was like uncomfortable.
Because normally queens come in and be like, I thought I sent your ass home. Like, you know, there's a bit of a jokey kind of back and forth of kind of like, oh, bitch, you're here again, you know. And I found it really weird that her whole thing was like, almost like, I'm going to come up to you and tell you that, like, should you really be here?
It was very like nasty. It wasn't like
It was Mean Girl. It had,
playful prodding. It was like
it had bully girl energy to it. Like at school where like the bully is pretending she's being nice. Like, I didn't say that to hurt you. I just, and it's like, ooh, I just didn't like the way she did it.
It was quite strange because because for some reason I kind of just thought she'd be this kind of plucky underdog person who was maybe a little bit less polished, but would like fight, would be like a killer lip syncer, you know, would just like do something like that. And I think it was a bit disappointing. Like this lip sync, it was like she had some good moments. I mean, we're jumping ahead a bit here, but like had some good moments. But you know, her outfit was really falling apart, and she'd even like
Oh, we need to talk about that lip sync, but that'll come later. But
Yeah.
that will. Can't say anything these days without anyone being
Look, they
offended.
put Maddie in the bottom. That tells you everything.
Maddie, whenever I hear Maddie, I'm like, I just don't go to Maddie Morphosis.
Who do you?
Maddie McCann.
Cool.
When you said it, I'm like, what? We're putting this?
Oh my god!
No one puts Maddie in the corner.
god!
That's what I was like, Maddie. Sorry, Maddie Morphosis. You probably don't know about Madeline McCann.
Oh my god! I've not thought about
She is
her
the
in so
archetypal
long.
Maddie.
Oh god!
Sorry, I've tried everything. Something's going wrong with my mouse, so unfortunately I can't improve the quality. As long as you can hear us all right, people actually care about our thoughts on the episode. They can still hear them.
Absolutely.
It's a podcast.
It's like a podcast
Exactly.
with nice, blurry,
Exactly.
like, yeah.
To be fair, I've always said just use this as a podcast.
Sound like
Anyway.
robots.
Yeah, as long as I think the audio should be okay. As long as the audio is okay.
Race case.
I tried to reconnect the internet, Kurt, but I don't think it's worked. I don't know what's happened. I'm very sorry. Okay, so Deja's a seamstress. Nothing to really say about that. Oh yeah, they eating that dragonfly. That was fun.
I think that was the most exciting thing that happened.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah, I mean, it was funny.
You got banana bread on your nose.
I don't know.
You just got like
Ring
this.
It's good banana bread. I mean, it was a bit like, is Cornbread really going to give her $1,000 for that? Was
I mean,
it
she's
that?
probably going to win 100.
I
Isn't
mean,
she? So...
I'd eat a dragonfly for $1,000.
Oh, I would as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you? That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah, like he said, it was like
That's a
grass.
meaty
It was
lady
like
though.
it wasn't that bad.
If it just died, it wouldn't be all crunchy. It'd be like fresh and chewy.
Yeah, for
Not
$1,000,
much now,
$1,000.
Would you guys do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over $1,000.
You would?
Yes.
Probably.
All right,
$5,000.
hashtag vegan pride. You
Dollars or pounds?
dollars.
What, 600,
Still like
650 quid?
700 quid.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, it's definitely the most interesting bit of the episode.
It genuinely was. I was going to say, I thought that was far more entertaining than. I mean, I'm genuinely blessed. Like Orion's story was like pretty intense, but we've heard it so many times in Drag Race, you kind of get desensitized to it.
You do.
Whereas like with Dragonfly, that was fun.
And they didn't always used to do it. Every episode used to just have workroom fun.
Yeah.
Now, like since
Is
about
that-
season
is that
10,
your
11, there's
name
been
on
a
the
moment workroom fun.
Yeah, on Grindr.
But you know, I agree, because I think the thing that really frustrates me now is like there's almost like a camera positioning where you know it's about to go down.
You're like,
Yeah,
here we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Where like suddenly like
Extra dramatic.
so, like,
underhand,
Grant
like,
about to tell a
on
sad story, and I
Thank you.
suddenly come in and I'm sort of like, so Grant, tell me more about something. I
Do
don't know.
your family know you're here? My mum's
Exactly.
dead, actually.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
oh.
It's always that.
I
And so,
love Mother's Day.
What do you do on Mother's Day? Nothing. I just go to her grave and cry.
and it kind of it bugs me because now it's that kind of moment where you're like, okay, like not to say like here we go, but a little bit of that, right?
Well, the workroom moments used to be like the most iconic bits. Like,
Yeah.
Go Back to Party City Where You Belong was just,
Yeah.
let's just film them in the workroom. Or them all going on a Tyra when she was singing and being a bitch.
Yes.
And that, like, so much is lost in those, let's force you to have a conversation.
That's what I mean,
about-
but we still got. That's why Dragonfly moment felt so like fun.
Yeah, it
Fun
was like,
fresh things.
it's
It's
like
like,
fun shit.
yeah,
You know, there's like a producer in the background, be like, fuck.
yeah, exactly.
Come on,
If you
Dragonfly.
go back and watch season 5 or 6, the
Yeah.
best seasons, they don't have. They had some, like Trinity had her coming out as HIV positive moment, but it wasn't every episode.
And it felt really organic because I think that came up naturally in
Yeah.
something that they were
Yeah.
talking about. And
Maybe that's what started it. It was kind of that was good. Let's do that.
it became
more.
like, here's the kind of the TV moment.
It's a
Here's the-
shame because it makes the show less fun.
Yeah, and it makes the queens feel a little bit more exploited.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know, for example, this episode, I really felt for Cornbread
Cornbread, yeah.
and Kerry having that really beautiful conversation. And you know, it's the first time in a season, as far as I'm aware, that we've had 2 trans competitors instead of just, you know, normally it's 1 trans competitor telling their story and everyone else listening. And this was the first time, as far as I'm aware, that it was 2.
Thank you, G-Gun.
Started us all, opened all those doors.
Even
Um,
Orion, you think do you really want to talk about your mum's suicide on Drag Race? Was that pulled out of you a little bit? Because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a thing where you're
I
like,
agree.
oh yeah, my mum killed herself. Let's talk about it.
With people you just met, like what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Weird.
Because like River Medway's one made a little bit more sense because it was an episode well, she was like, her mum had died not long before she came to film. And so it was really fresh on her mind. And so it was natural it was going to come up, and it came up a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think with Orion's story, I agree. It felt a bit like go on, Orion, go and tell your story now. And I mean, maybe Orion feels better after having shared that. I do feel like there's a tiny bit of exploitative. Like, I hope the aftercare is really good.
Yeah, because I agree. It's kind of why I like Dragula, because the bits in between always feel so unfiltered and so messy, and it's just like, and the conversations are just more.
They're more
organic.
up for fun as well. They're less worried about their image. They're up for like having a fun bitchy time.
Yeah,
because their image is already like, we're dark and like it's messy. And
but I was just thinking, like, going off what Bob was saying about aftercare now. So imagine if things gone a bit differently, right? So, Orion had like a very intense story, and then she talks about how the runway is representation. She did drag for her mum. The runway represents her mum, like, specifically. And then she was in the bottom, which she basically was, and then lip syncs and goes home. Like, that's so exploitative, isn't it?
But a lot of the trend is, you have your sad episode, then you get sent home. It's the trend.
That's what I mean. But it's so exploitative.
It was the really pretty one that got sexually assaulted.
Blair.
And it was like, oh, I got raped at a party, and I like pretty things. And they were like, thanks for your story. Like, sashay away. You can almost tell who's going to go a lot of the time by the story, which seems even worse.
Yeah, because they're either going to be bottom or they win. It's like there's almost no in between, and that's why it feels exploitative, because it feels like the production are like, oh, this is probably the week she's going. Isn't
Get
it?
it out now.
Like, come on. And so I think that's the thing that really worries me, because it's sort of, it never really feels particularly linked to the episode.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be, but like it doesn't feel like it's come out as a natural part of the conversation of something that's happening. Like, if there'd been a runway and it was about, like,
about mums or something.
Yeah. Or like, or for Cornbread and
really like that. Mum's the runway.
No, but they had like a mum and daughter.
Yeah.
Mum and daughter challenges. If some queen was then like, actually, my mum's died, and they were like,
Mum.
better than tonight. Category's zebra print.
I mean, fair.
I think they are running a bit empty, aren't they? Because now, like, adjective, couture.
Again.
Yay!
Look at what you've been missing.
All this fashion.
Hang on. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh,
Hello.
Ooh. You can have your arm back.
Thanks. You just kind of like
I went for the
touched my
middle.
breastbone.
I went for the middle. You did
There's not a lot
left
there.
and right. I went for the middle.
That's
So we've got
nice.
a guy.
Do you enjoy that?
I like the middle, yeah.
That's good.
It's
Not a
good
lot
for
there,
me.
really.
That's just enough for me.
Oh, good. Yeah, look, season 8, Mum Runway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oi! I've got the face of an old man, and I'm proud.
Like, what old man did you steal it from? I'm really worried you just like,
You
stole an
don't
old
wanna
man's
know.
face.
You don't want to know. Okay. Cornbread helping Willow. What was that for?
Oh, about helping with.
Oh, that's really sweet.
I saw a really funny thing online actually where Willow said, like, because I didn't know the kind of context or anything else, but Willow basically said that Cornbread accidentally did it wrong. But like, obviously they were having a moment, so Willow didn't want to be like, you've actually missewn that.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But, like, in a really beautiful kind of
And that was
way.
lovely. Like,
It was
Cornbread
such
was
a-
like, no one's really asked, but I asked because we talked to each other and she told me what's
This is
up.
why, like, Cornbread is
So much charisma.
is the winner of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether she gets the crown or not, like, she's the
She's the heart.
she's the heart of season 10, and she, because the what's it called, the person who does all the like.
Her, the shade.
Because this won't show up on the stream, I want to read that out, so in case Yaz is watching. Okay, so Grant's off fan facey stuff from Yaz.
Beautiful.
Wow.
She'll watch that later.
But no, but so Cornbread is like the confessional queen already.
Yeah.
She is doing really well.
She's the moment.
She is the moment now. Come on now, because she's such a well-rounded queen. She's so funny. Like, even though her looks this episode weren't my favorites, but like they were good. Like they were cohesive. I didn't have anything like overtly negative to say about
She's
it.
not a looks queen, though, is she? I mean, she's not. Is that controversial?
Yeah, I agree. Like, the looks have not been the team.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that the notes?
Yeah, so should we talk about the ball then?
Jesus Christ.
So, we were reading during the looks, and also I don't think I would have really. I was thinking, but just go back and rewatch all the looks super quick or see him on a runway or something. But I'm like, I don't think I would have had any notes. Like, there was nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to write notes about that as I was watching. I'm kind of like, they're all much of muchness. So I think we'll just talk about the looks that stand out for us.
Yeah.
In terms of being good and bad.
Maddie's like white look with all the stars, the gold
Judges
stars.
didn't like.
I thought it was really cool.
I
there
loved
was
it.
something lacking about it. Though. It was a bit like
Yeah.
blocky and
Yeah.
like crafty.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, good job. She's late.
Yeah, exactly. You missed some shade.
Sade.
Some Sade. What were we saying? So what you guys saying? You didn't like her?
I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was great.
Oh no, I didn't think it was like perfectly
No.
executed.
It was
but
different.
Exactly,
And a runway
yeah.
where everything kind of looked the same, but it was one that stood out.
Exactly.
Exactly. I still think it was good. I don't think it was like poorly executed. I think it could be done better, but I still think it was well done, and I still liked it a lot.
Yaz is asking what was the shade.
You have to watch the whole stream back to see, I'm afraid. Bob, so talk about other looks. We go through each like who like other looks that stood out.
So
All looks stood
Willow,
out.
most of Willow's looks actually, particularly Willow's like the look that was black on black. I just thought she looked so beautiful, and I loved in the leopard print or whatever print it was, where she had the little like
The last look.
little bit over her eyes. I just thought like it was really cleverly done. Just 'cause I think Willow, I find her looks really versatile, because she can kind of do these like grand theatrical looks, but she can also do like preppy teenager, like really convincing.
They were all just really elevated. They
Yeah.
just looked so much better than everyone else's.
Although I did worry
really
about the
clever.
very first, was it the white outfit, the zebra outfit? I forget which one it was. The white one. It was like a leopard. It was an animal print one.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I know this is pedestrian." I thought. "It is
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
the real
pedestrian."
estate
The real
kind of
estate
thing.
agent. Yeah. I was like, "It is pretty pedestrian."
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it was pretty chic, but I kind of thought it was a bit safe.
Angeria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's for Yaz.
Actually, this is Yaz's because that's what Dino. So Yaz is saying her top weeks were Jasmine, Willow, and Angeria.
I can't remember Jasmine.
That's what I'm saying. Jasmine kind of.
Oh, I remember thinking, "Oh, that's quite a good outfit." Jasmine Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember thinking that.
It was the red, white, and blue one, right?
Yeah, that was decent. The red, white, and blue.
Again, it was just doing nothing like too
No.
new though. Like it was. Again, I remember her looks being well executed, but were they? Am I going to remember them next week?
Again, this is the problem with having 14 queens do
Yeah.
3 looks each across 6 different categories. Is like it's just a blur, and
Yeah.
like you've got maybe 30 seconds with each look.
I've
I
got.
think it undid everything the first 2 episodes did.
Yeah.
So the first 2 episodes gave you such a real focus on each of the queens
Yes.
because you have half the queens in the
You're
same
right.
time.
You're right.
This one just kind of undid all that. And I found myself thinking, I'm forgetting who's playing in this competition.
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah.
We're in the workroom. I was like, "Who's that? Who's talking?" I don't know who that is under the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so what stood out for me then? Who stood out for me was like I was really impressed with Dyer. I think she's doing something new. Like for example, like her white look where she had the really intense like pink makeup.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, that's really
I
cool.
really like that makeup.
She's got like chicness or like an edge to her looks.
And it had like volume as a look, didn't it? Because I think everyone else did basically like really tight white
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah.
And she had these like big flowy arms, and
Yeah.
it was a bit more
It was like a
theatrical.
pretty look, but like with an intense presentation and makeup.
Yeah. So I'm
but
kind of glad that she came back. She got to eat a dragonfly. She got to do that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
Genuinely.
enjoyed Diary.
Yes, I was
I
going to say
did as
that's,
well,
that's
actually.
genuinely my point.
And she was like my least favourite in the Meet the Queens. I was just like, please go.
And I was
away.
going to say
Yeah.
Orion as well, like as I mentioned earlier. Like same thing. Like
Yeah.
she was entertaining this episode. Like in all ways, I thought her looks were some of the more interesting looks. I don't think they were the best for sure, but like
And I
some
feel
of
like
the more
sometimes they'll
interesting
get rid of a lot of not really boring queens in the first week. They'll get rid of someone who's maybe just not done something quite right.
Yeah.
And they'll get rid of some interesting ones versus
Yeah.
just get rid of some of the dull ones. Like Jude Jambalaya, glad that she's gone. She's
Yeah.
just like,
I'm trying to think of what other looks stood out to me.
Oh.
But we haven't talked about already. I don't think there is anyone for me. What about you guys?
Can I just say that red one that George just wore, she wore like an inch of fabric, and Rue was like crazy
know.
about it. I don't get that. Like
The one was, I know it was Angeria, so hers was really puffed out.
Oh, that
I
was
like
really
that.
cool.
Yeah,
it was, the hair was big,
yeah.
but the dress was like
it was tiny.
just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
exciting. Like she looked. I think her. I agree with what I said in terms of her presentation's great. She's fun to watch, but like, was the look impressive? No.
No.
And she was top 3 really this episode,
Yeah.
wasn't she? So, I think that's the thing. Yeah, I think Rue does tend to like skinny model-esque queens who are very, very pretty boys tend to do very well.
Yeah.
Well, you said like, oh, here comes the speech about like it's like Crystal Versace or whatever. Again, like you're such a natural drag queen. You're born to do drag. Like, what- but they should all, they're all born to do drag. You've got them all on Drag Race.
I
Like,
still disagree a little bit about the Crystal Versace. I don't think you could put her in the same category. As
No.
George.
No, that's true.
Like Crystal Versace was a lot more interesting than George's.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to admit. I do like George's as well, but I just think in this episode especially, it was like
Yeah.
That was not good.
I mean, I see George just going home like midway through.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna go on.
because Rue seems to
Because Rue will like
True.
her. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if she went. Like at the moment, I wouldn't mind if she went next episode. Like I'm not interested by anything. Like, there's no like tease of like something to come, but I've not seen from her. Like I feel like we've seen the best of her already, and it's not that exciting to me.
it's like Valentina, but not as
That's what I'm saying. Valentina had other aspects to her. She had like a really interesting personality, and like, you know, had issues
really
with her
funny.
initially.
And
That's what I mean. Like she had a lot more to her. She made a lot. Like you can't in Drag Race, you can't just be one thing. You have to be sort of talented.
see, she's in like a comedy challenge or something.
Yes, you're incorrect.
I like her personality, but I think
Really?
she needs to show a bit more. Like,
Yeah.
she's quite bubbly. She's got that Valentina kind of like, "Ay."
Yeah.
But
Because she's foreign. Because she's foreign.
I kind of feel like
shoot me down.
I mean, for me, like Snatch Game is always like Snatch Game is pretty much where I always make most of my decisions for like
In
what I
life.
really love.
Exactly. Should I go for this job or should I not? Why
Yeah.
to vote for Snatch?
It's not like a magic 8-ball situation.
Exactly.
But yeah, and so George's, I can imagine like it's going to be like either completely shit and she's lip syncing, I think, or fairly high. George's for Snatch Game, and that's when I think I want to make a final decision on her. But for now, I'm not.
I can't
massively
imagine her
impressed.
doing well in Snatch Game.
No, I can't either. I mean, and the thing is,
She's going to do Sofia Vergara again.
Oh,
no one
50
ever do.
time.
Yeah.
Or Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah.
And what about Sophia as Beyonce?
Oh god. But I also think it's really because someone like Lady Camden is really fading for me.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot she
Oh
was there.
yeah, she's in it.
And the
isn't
thing
she?
is,
I felt one of her outfits was good.
Which one?
The red one.
Oh, I did quite like that one actually.
Which
Like,
one?
it had
actually?
like a cool like headpiece to it. Kind of half a cape.
Yeah.
I remember like just on things that stood out.
Ah,
That was good.
But that's it. Lady Camden, I feel like she's going to get really lost in this cast because she's like, being pitched as sort of theatrical, campy, funny queen,
Yeah.
but like she's in a cast with like some big hitters in terms of comedy people, like, big, like funny personalities. And then also she's not like standing out as much in fashion as you like, she needs one thing that pushes her.
I
through
think
the
her
noise.
one thing that's frustrating me is that she's English, right? Like, that is her gimmick.
Whereas with that, we've already got UK Drag
Exactly.
Race. It's not
Yeah.
that big a deal. We've
Plus
just
it's not-
literally had 2 series in 1 year.
Even if we didn't, it's still not a gimmick.
But I'm holding out hope for her. I think she'll do something that
My
I really like.
personality is
I agree.
British.
Exactly.
I think we've got a lot more still to see from Lady.
I hope so.
I think
Particularly Snatch Game.
what do you think she'll do in Snatch Game?
I don't think she'll do great again.
Someone
I don't know.
British.
Someone British.
Yeah, probably.
I really love it.
Probably
If she, like,
Sherlock
I love it if she just completely does someone like off the wall, like
Oprah Winfrey.
That'd be amazing. That'd be such a good shout. I love that.
She could do Amy Winehouse because of Camden.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like, there's only been one done. It was not good. As
True.
much as I love it.
I do love your
With Yana Sophia
Oh,
did
God.
it. It's so good. It's so bad.
So anything else from the ball that stood out to us?
Just the length.
Oh no, I would say can't relate. I would say Maddie's last performance was fun with like
that's
getting married. I didn't like the look.
She had
herself.
to because that look was not.
No, they actually all quite liked
What
it.
was
I
the
didn't get it.
performance? I didn't really pick up.
She was
on
like excited.
Skating down the runway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's excited to get married. She's
Oh.
and she was like throwing a bouquet and she's having fun with it.
And
That was
actually
nice to
being
see.
campy, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I always, my bias with straight men is like, oh, they're not going to be able to let themselves go and be like that. And that and the lip sync kind of made me think, oh, maybe she can.
It
I agree.
did feel forced. I didn't think it was great. I think it was kind of like her trying to be like other drag queens. It didn't feel.
I
very
don't
natural.
know.
A little bit.
I
I'm gonna
think-
watch it.
I think-
she was doing that
I think there's a different aspect
just
to it
really
though.
like-
I think it's to me. I'm getting more like Trixie vibes. I know Trixie, where she's quite awkward. I think she's quite an awkward person generally. If you, not just her lip sync, like you watch the rest of the episode, sorry, her runways. Like you watch the rest of the episode, she's just quite awkward generally. I think it's more that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's helping trying to compare it to Trixie because I'm thinking, well, Trixie's amazing. But you can't.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't initially. She was like all awkward and like. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you watch season 7?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's the first one I watched.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you go. Oh, yeah. I think. Yeah, I get kind of Trixie energy.
Okay.
I think as well, with runways, something that also stood out, unfortunately, was June.
Because of the polish.
Well, that's the whole thing, because Grant pointed out to me midway through, which I managed to completely forget, that the first 2 looks were not made, like they were home brought.
Yeah.
I was like, so June
Pre-prepared, yeah.
Jambalaya has that outfit with her, and
That's one of her go-to look.
and it
Yeah.
doesn't fit her. It's too long in the leg, and she trips over. Like,
They were very, very kind to her about look 1 as well.
oh,
Because
yeah.
looks 2 and 3 were shit.
I can't
Looks
remember
was-
look 1.
It was like a horrible zebra print suit with like a big shawl.
Oh yeah.
So all
And
of
they
them.
were like, oh wow, like you look like a business exec. And then the other 2 looks weren't good. Like
I always feel like
just
business
being
exec is
kind.
such a lazy.
Yeah, business realness.
They're like, oh, so you put on a blazer and a skirt, 80s power bitch. You know,
Oh my God, working girl.
It's like-
Honestly, so.
I think was it Raja? Somebody pointed out once that like basically any queen who's like a little bit messy will be like, it's Vivienne Westwood, and then like because it's just sort of like if it's
Oh,
a little
or a bit of tartan.
Yeah.
Is that me with the guy with the belt fire? Is this Vivienne Westwood? Someone wearing anything with some tartan on it.
right.
Oh. It wasn't La La Ree bag
No.
ball. I want to say bag ball, not ball bag. Bag ball bad, but it was just crap, and it was just they breezed over it. I'm like, well, yeah.
I mean, okay.
I don't need to kill her. I
No, you know
suppose.
what? I disagree. I would say I think June Jambalaya, the actual homemade looks, the last category, June was worse than La La Ree in that, like, at least La La Ree had a somewhat of an interesting concept, whereas June literally just had 3 bits of different coloured fabric draped over each other.
And then hid half.
I
And
would-
hid it,
but it
and
was.
she could.
It was La La Ree. I think you forget how bad.
No, I can picture
La
very
La
clearly.
Ree's was
No.
some bags
No.
glued together.
I know it was horrific. It was terrible. But June's was worse to me because, like, I think La La Ree's at least trying to do something, whereas June felt
Yeah.
like doing nothing.
I
think
think
La La Ree was-
Ree might be better in the fact that it really did evoke like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
if
but
La La
this
Ree
was
had gone
like-
down, she should have held up some leaves at the front.
Yeah.
just to hide it.
No, as I say, what I'm saying is, like, yeah, Lala failed at doing something, whereas June failed at doing nothing. Right? That's my point.
I see that. I do see that because
We're
her outfit was
splitting hairs, both awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Both
Lala,
absolute
in fairness, I think as well, like La La Ree is just more engaging. So I think, like with La La Ree with a shit bag look, like, it's just fun.
Imagine
It's on
not
fire.
teaching.
Yeah.
Imagine not teaching. No, that's really sweet though, because that is why we do it. It's like just hanging out with lads, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going home immediately after this finishes.
I
So
know. We're stream friends.
But no, I mean, yeah. So I also do wonder,
Yes.
but I think that does come back to the whole thing of like June was not ready, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I think she could be fun in like future seasons, but it feels very weird.
I've got no evidence of that. I think I've been too
True.
blind.
Yeah,
But, like-
I was gonna say, like from
Yeah.
what
Exactly.
we deduce it.
True.
Later
And
on.
And that's the thing, actually, because even with someone like, if you think of like James Mansfield, who didn't really feel ready, you also could
Yes.
see
Yeah,
like,
there was something there.
like James Mansfield, you're like, and you know, Rue said it was one of the funniest audition tapes that had ever come through.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
She's a quirky girl.
yeah, she's that kind of girl. But I don't know. Yeah, June is a bit of a weird one. I do feel for her because she's like survived the lip sync, and then like next episode she's like, oh, and I am first to go home. Essentially, like, okay, great, cool, we love that for me.
I don't really care.
I don't know.
But like even like I don't know if it was this bad on the runway. It got worse after lip sync. But when she was writing the mirror message, Crystal and I clocked her body. It was like the shape of it was like that.
Oh, was that-
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
it was like the padding all shifted and it was just angular.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, her
So I'm
top
like,
fell down 3 times during the
This is
episode.
what I mean.
It's
So like,
quite a spirited.
I'm sorry if all the padding descended.
but this is what I'm
Have we
saying.
spoken about that lip sync?
No, we're going to get to that
No.
next. That's what this is my
Jesus.
point. Like she felt it did nothing. Like she like went for a very simple dress with like just literally draped fabric and completely found it out. Even the body wasn't right. That's my point. It's just I was just
But
very frustrated. by it.
maybe the body fell apart during the lip sync.
That's not an excuse. Like if you, it's not even like your one thing you're doing is like that, and you're not even doing that right.
I think there's also, I mean, it's also the thing, like, because she was red in the first episode for having like undergarment showing, and then like she basically had like a black top on underneath, just kept them showing, and it was a bit like, come on, babes, like I want to, yeah, I kind of want you to do a bit better here, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about lip sync. But Kurt, you do. Cool. So yeah, what do you think of lip sync?
Oh, it was like one of the messiest fucking lip syncs we've ever had in Drag Race.
I know.
Just awful.
when they actually went through the results, I love that they cleared all the shit that was on the stage first.
Yeah.
Like, because like at one point, Maddie, I was like, if she takes one more step back,
I've
she's just gonna fall.
I've talked about this before. It really pisses me off on Queen's Dinner because it's just so unfair on the other. Like
Yeah.
it's literal safety hazard to the other contestant.
So
Like,
what happened? What I missed?
she took off all her, she just draped fabric on.
Oh,
She took them
yeah.
all off and put them all over the stage. It's just like a massive dripping hazard.
Oh, it's
Very
awful.
hot in bananas.
Yeah, it was worse than that. Like, we could at least it's very just slippy. It's like
Someone said like that was wedding reception in a community centre. Drunk auntie
Yes.
had like a little bit too much beer. Ripping a wig off during a lip sync, you don't do it.
And like I said
She
to
didn't
Bob
have
straight
a lot of
away.
weight, in fairness, but it wasn't a great
I said to Bob, like, you can see she's got enough, like, it's something, like, it looks, her hair is terrible, so she's got something on underneath her main wigs, like her main braids or whatever they were.
If you're gonna do
And
it,
then, like, she did it, it was a terrible wig, and it's like, okay,
and
well.
then she kicked her shoes off, and then her dress kept falling down and showing off her bra. And then she was just kind of like doing circles around the dance floor, like you would do at a drunken wedding.
And this thing, like, Maddie was kind of cute with it. I thought she was like, she had
It's
a
like
bit of fun.
awkward, yeah.
Like,
Like,
I
and
didn't dislike Maddie at all. I
No,
think she
yeah.
was fine.
she kind of sold the like because it's quite. I mean, I don't really know that song actually. I have to admit, but like, she kind of sold the kind of like cheesy camp joy of it, and that's the thing. Like,
Which I wasn't. I was thinking, oh, June could win this because you know I'm again my bias about gay man versus straight man is that one will be able to style this out. And June would have been the straight man in that.
Yeah, I agree.
It was.
I think Gas is right. Just if you look around mid lip sync and there's fucking fabric and shit everywhere, you should pick it up and go home. She took including her shoes as well. Like, what are you
They
doing?
should just turn the music off and just go silent and wait for just
Honestly.
pick up all of her shoes.
Exactly. Everyone just look at her disappointedly.
Wow.
And then, like, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say more stuff, but it's mean.
It was bad.
Any other thoughts on the episode or anything generally?
It was a bit weird. It's really interesting because before watching this episode, I saw a couple of like reaction channels, or whatever, like online, kind of just be like one of the best episodes I've seen in a while.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
God,
And it was
really?
really weird watching this and being like,
When?
sorry, what?
When
When is this going to kick in?
Like,
this is why I like our channel though, because we don't follow the crowd. You know, we're
We're
different.
different.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're gay.
You
Oh,
don't know
no,
what's
no.
you don't know what's going on with us, do you? You don't know
we
where we're
don't know
going
what's
next.
going on with us.
I
Very
completely
good
agree with
together.
Chris. I feel like completely undid the point of the talent shows.
Yeah.
Now I've got to kind of being like, I don't really know what Jasmine Kennedy did in that
Because
episode. I
everyone
don't really
Yeah.
remember
bled
what-
into one because
Yeah.
there was not much room for variation in the themes that they had.
Yeah.
Especially given that amount of time, there's not going to be much time to make something more unique than just some kind of animal print layered underneath a shawl. It's just,
Yeah.
I thought it was a really poor choice for an episode this early on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I said off the bat. Yeah. As saying that she surprised by how much she likes Kerry Colby. I agree. I think she seems
I
very
like Kerry.
charismatic, but we got like nothing off her because all the episodes focused on the looks, which is
Yeah,
really
We have to fight with
frustrating.
13 other queens.
Exactly. Cool.
I like the comment about calling Maddie Laddie Morphosis. Sorry, Morphosis. I keep saying
Yeah.
Morphosis.
Why?
No, it's just really bad emphasis because it's metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, yeah.
Metamorphosis.
Okay. So,
Okay, well.
yeah, we do see it. Everyone was so happy we did it. Everyone was so happy we did it.
I hate
doing
it. It's
it.
the worst bit. Of the
Well, we're not.
series.
Remember how they had our faces were like smashed from ear to ear last week doing those singing interviews?
I loved
I'm
it.
so happy.
Made my way.
Exactly.
Still is.
Still dreaming about it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Dan, you have to go first. Who's your charisma?
cornbread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because she cried.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Charisma, I think it has to be. I mean, it's more heart than charisma. Cornbread, like her helping out Willow, her really articulating how much that had affected her. I thought was really beautiful. So I just love Cornbread. I think she's great.
Chris.
It's worth saying something else, by the way, that we've spoken about the chocolate thing.
I was
If
gonna
you've
say,
been
yeah.
here on time.
Yeah, I agree.
I give charisma to Maddie for kind of pulling it off in the lip sync. It's better than
That's
expected.
fair.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's story because when she resaid that the pretty thing, she's like, yeah, I do know.
That was great.
Yeah.
I
When
think
you
she
look at
did
yourself,
that
do you
right.
see that beauty? Yes.
I love that.
Actually, yeah, I said it back.
That's my favourite.
Yeah.
Fuck cornbread.
My uniqueness is also going to Willow. I agree with Yaz.
Oh, because
Being
you
the
give
only good one this episode.
Yaz is giving
Yeah.
Yaz giving Christmas to Kerry.
Because I think did you do your C?
Yeah.
Okay. Just didn't want you to be left out. Thank you. Because I thought Willow, it was like she took the ideas of the looks and made them a bit more fun. Like she took like animal print and did like black on black and stuff, which is slightly different.
Yeah, that's fair. Chris,
So it's laughing at cats.
Which
I
one
know,
are we
so-
doing? Uniqueness now.
uniqueness.
Dan, can you go first?
Uniqueness. I don't want to say Willow because I want to give Willow my tea. But uniqueness.
You said you want to give
I'm
me
going to go for Orion because there is something quite
I was
unique.
going
about
for
her
Ryan
face,
as well.
the
No,
look.
I'm
If she could channel that kind of cool, rockery teenage girl look into something a bit more elevated, then I'll be quite interested.
I think she's elevated this episode, so don't you dare.
Oh,
Uniqueness, I'm going to go because I've already given it to. Who do you say?
right story.
Oh, I'm going to give it to Dyer. Oh, no, I was thinking Dyer's polish. Sorry, yeah, Dyer. I'm going to give it to because I think her makeup and looks are pretty cool and different. I thought.
She's so dire.
Curtis giving Christmas to Chris and Dan for being cute, and Bob for uniqueness of Bob for.
How is this unique?
Exactly.
Like, why are you gagging so? I bring it to you every stream.
That's the second Bob's wearing mustard.
No, not this. Not tonight. I don't think. Nerve.
Right. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm going to go with June for thinking she could hold some fucking leaves up in front of an elf.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a funeral procession.
Yeah.
It was like a very, very slow walk.
Was she going for bridal? Like, I'll hold the flowers.
I
here,
think that was
and
her
it
plan.
looked like
Like
funeral
Jungle Bride.
But like,
Yeah.
but then she wasn't really like. She wasn't kind of selling that.
Christopher Clay. Not what I meant.
If she was, the thing is, if she was going for like bridal, she really wasn't selling it because she wasn't doing like the step.
Yeah,
Stop.
like, exactly.
Oh,
Was
someone's
it
been
another-
tried before.
like, quickly
14
made-
times, I'll have you know.
She could have quickly made a train
Yeah.
and like made something like that, and she kind of just.
She can't. She has no sewing ability whatsoever.
Well, a train is a piece of
literally
fabric.
She can't. She
That's
can't do that.
it.
She would not. You can see when she got one pre-made. She couldn't wear it. She's tripping over it. So there's no way she could do it
But like
herself.
as we saw in the lip sync, there was a lot of fucking fabric on what she was wearing. Like there's enough to make a
She could have
train.
made a train out of that.
Yeah, true. Who are we on still on Nerve?
Yeah.
I think. Can I give nerve to June as well for that fucking lip sync, taking her shoes off, taking her wig off?
I was going to do that as
Right,
well.
And it's not good.
I second
enough,
that.
right? It's like
But yeah, the
Yeah.
nerve of doing that.
I second that,
it's
yeah.
dancing- when queens take their shoes off and for the lip sync, it makes me think of like little kids when they want to put a show on for their parents, like, "Mum, Dad, look at me, look at me,"
Yeah.
panting around with like flapping flat feet on the ground.
Yeah.
She just starts skidding on her knees across the dance floor.
Yeah. Bob.
I'm gonna give nerve to Ryan for that story. I thought it was really
No,
No, it's in like the nerve.
Oh.
No, that wasn't gonna give her. As in the nerve to like hold it together. Like holding her nerve. Not like how fucking dare she.
Ryan, I liked Ryan's story tonight.
Hey.
That's literally what you were saying.
Yeah, she had your chance about the chocolate. We don't want to hear any more about that now.
Oh, we've done the
We've done
chocolate.
the
I do agree with Yaz.
No,
Rue is-
we had to talk earlier.
Rue clearly has
No.
a warehouse. It's like fucking.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I have a side rant about the chocolate.
Oh my God, go on.
Unless this chocolate like tastes of anything, Rue is basically just selling general chocolate and like branding it as a Rue thing,
Oh,
right?
how
Well,
long
this
before
one
we get?
beforehand.
Like just general.
No, she sold chocolate bars beforehand, and they
Yeah.
were specific things.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they had like
Okay.
specific flavors. Apparently, they're pretty good.
RuPaul chocolate.
Yeah, they were a thing.
God,
Yeah.
so RuPaul.
It lasted like a
Probably-
year. They pop up stores one summer. few
Probably
years
wanted a
ago.
marketing campaign or like, fuck it, we'll stick it in an episode. And,
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think they stopped selling them years ago.
God, maybe they could bring them back then.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
They just found another warehouse for
Talent. I'm giving mine to Willow for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Like you
I've already
given.
given. I've already given. Talent. Who made some good stuff?
No one else had anything good in this episode.
Oh no, who else was in the top?
No, I think just focus on the final looks and how well they were constructed,
yeah,
and then
that's
just
what
base
they
talent
did.
on that.
I mean, I've only really got Angeria left, haven't I? Oh no, actually, I mean, yeah.
Actually, Jasmine Kennedy. I think there was a good look in that.
And she's obviously a talented
Yeah.
seamstress. I was thinking that as a backup. You going with?
I'll go for Angeria, but
Oh, okay.
I really like Angeria. I'm glad we haven't spoken about her.
yeah.
She had no screen
She was
time
a bit middle
episode.
of the pack today, but she's great. And
And she had no
like,
screen time episode anyway.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we
Let's
talked about
give her
it last couple of streams.
Shit.
Okay, so if you go, anything else to say about episode of recommendations?
let's go straight to recommendations. Please.
Cool. Anyone got anything in mind?
No?
No.
I really don't.
Okay, I've got something then. But who else has anyone got anything?
I don't think
I think I moved. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, Pokemon Legends Arceus, which leaked a little bit earlier, is actually really good. It's a really fun time. The graphics are shit, but I enjoy it. So you're welcome, everyone.
I'm going to recommend Kurt's Instagram because he followed me last week and I've been watching his fitness journey,
Oh yeah.
doing his lifts. And
You go, girl.
You go, girl. You get yours.
Nice one. I think that's a good
You
recommendation.
go get yourself a man, although you don't need no man.
Yes, MD, work the world. You wear that crown, mama.
Very that.
Yasmin's invented a new segment for this stream.
Exactly. Ignore ya. She's trying to take over remotely.
She's just going to request like
Exactly.
hosting permission. So.
Exactly. Anyone see recommendations, Bob? Chris?
What did we do this week? What can we recommend from this week?
We played The Sims last night and you fell asleep.
Oh yeah. I recommend not drinking because I was very hungover on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good. Love you. Love you, Yaz.
Wow.
Sorry, Kurt.
Oh, you can.
No.
That'd be good to talk about.
Yes, I agree.
This week.
But we're not going to talk about it because I've not seen anything to do with it yet. Because I'm wondering whether I should react to like the cast on like I used to on Meet the Queens.
Meet the Queens is really fun.
Yeah, because like I'm actually interested by what's going to be going on. So if people want to see that, then I'll do that. But if no one gives a shit, then I'll watch it. We talk about it next stream or something.
It's a really fun Meet the Queens. I watched it on Friday night.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's on iPlayer now.
It's also very BBC. It's like it's a UK
Oh, wow.
franchise. It's Alan Carr. It's Graham Norton.
Oh,
So
nice.
seeing Graham Norton with Lemon and
Wait, don't no
Mo-
spoilers. No
Monique
spoilers. No
Carr.
spoilers.
I'm not saying it will be fun to see.
You just said two queens. I don't know who's on
You
it.
don't know who's on
No,
it?
that's what I'm saying. I've not seen
Oh,
anything.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm saying for Dan.
How do you not know the things that
So I'm not looked it up, so I can react to it.
Lemon and Monique Carr on it.
Right, that's good.
Lemon is
Actually,
not
make
on
it.
this.
I'm very sad about Lemon.
I think you could say Grant's pretty sour about that.
I'm actually very annoyed. What we send recommendations? Have you guys
I
gone?
don't think I've got any.
There.
I recommend him not drinking.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Books
I
this
was just
week.
trying to think.
Thanks,
To
Kurt.
pronounce your other
Oh.
channel.
I have a book
Recommend.
recommendation.
Go on.
Louis Theroux's autobiography. It's very
Is it just come out?
Hey.
No, I think it's been out for a while. But
I might listen to it already then.
Listen to the audiobook.
I have listened to it. Yeah, it is good. Mm-hmm.
Right, copycat.
No, lovely. I've seen everything. I've seen everything Louis
like
ever
one
done.
book a year. Let me have this.
I've
one.
seen everything Louis ever done.
I won't pick me, girl. Like, just...
Louis number 2. Okay, so we done?
Oh, Yaz has already left. Except she hasn't. Because you've still got 3
Yeah,
viewers.
exactly. She
Who-
never
I want to know who the 3rd viewer was because they've been very.
Lynn.
Is it Lynn?
I'm not worried if I still got it on
She's
my
in
pocket.
Jambalaya. She's watching.
Oh my god!
Oh no,
You're
sorry.
awful. You shouldn't have got on that. Can the 3rd viewer reveal yourself?
It's me.
Oh, can we see who it is?
Oh, it's
What?
so
No!
No more fun to go.
Okay, guys, can you all say your in unison? Also, your iconic leading lines while I end the stream.
Oh, God.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bye.
June Jumbo. Bye, bitch.
June Jumbo Buyer, more like.
Oh, genuinely, like the mouse isn't working.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
You end it.
I literally can't end it.
Oh, no, we're stuck here forever.
That's so awkward.
They can watch us sleep.
It's like when you say goodbye to someone and then you walk the same way.
What I'm going to have to do is unplug the camera to plug the mouse thing back in, so the audio might still be there. Can you guys?
Why don't we just go completely quiet when he cuts the camera?
We've got
and
a
it'll be
full-
like it's finished.
We've got a full person now.
Oh, hi.
Oh no! That'll just be Kurt on his 3rd device.
Thank you, honestly, thank you.
Kurt on his tablet.
Exactly.
Have we ever had 4 viewers before?
It's gone back down to 3.
I don't know what to do.
They were like, no. Bye.
Oh, gosh.
Right, don't say anything when the camera goes off.
Oh, Grant, don't touch me there.
It's still sound.
You can't say that about that religion.
I'm like, whoa. Oh, she's back.
Oh.
Like, mouse seems working.
No,
That's
what?
Oh, is it because of this?
Maybe.
What
is happening?
Is your mouse button broken?
Can't you just press return?
Press tab until it cycles to the end.
Press
I
every
tried that
button.
in my earlier, tried that in
Have you tried
That's
turning
like
off and on
IT
again?
metric.
Everything I do is shut down the whole PC, I think.
Will it delete the stream though?
Shut the
It'll
browser.
stop the stream, won't it?
Will it delete the stream? Will it not
No,
save it?
this is out forever now.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you shut the browser?
No, I can't do anything. I can't click anything.
Control delete.
I can't do Tom Sanders for some reason.
Oh, I hope no one's still there.
Oh.
That's all.
Oh no, they are still there.
I actually really like June John.